When people want to buy ETFs, will there be enough XRP on the market? We're going to talk about it. That's exactly what this new paper from Wisdom Tree is about. Ripple XRP and its growth around the world are also talked about in Cryptory in new ways. In other news, Capitol Hill is getting some new things that are encrypted. That is what we're going to talk about. There is also some information about the BRICS and Ripple XRP at the end. Start with the Smoke Dog song. He says there are lots of XRP will be on the market at once before Bitcoin. There will be 21 million Bitcoins out there by about 2040. The number of XRP coins will stay the same for the next few years. It's clear that we're talking about XRP that has been stolen. 1 billion is given out every month. Most of the time, Ripple locks up around 70% of the X. More than once, some people wonder if BlackRock or JP Morgan really owns all the XRP. If that's the case, I believe Ripple should unlock 70% of the XRP that was locked up temporarily, because that will be locked up for years. Also, that XRP should be going somewhere already if it's supposed to. That's what I thought when I first read it. There is a strong link between Bitcoin and Ether, but not much between XRP and either of them. It talks about how buyers can see the stock of XRP change over time. Bitcoin and XRP are both one-time only coins that come out at different times. It says that the reach of Bitcoin is its largest supply in 2140, and the reach of XRP is its largest supply in the next few years. After that, the number of XRP units will only go down because they'll lose money and have to pay fees. Also, our lives won't change because of this. I did some math over here. If everything was done on the XRP system, it would only take 34 million XRP a year to burn. Not more than 34 million if all the Ds go through. Then this will never help us. It's fine, but there's no need for all the talk. As long as people want XRP as much as they did before, the price should go up. I'd like to know now that everything is clear, what's going on with the amount of XRP, because I think these talks are very important. I do keep you guys up to date on this. A sudden drop in the supply of XRP is becoming a real concern as exchange reserves drop to dangerously low levels. This is because institutional demand and the possible effects of ETF approval could make it even harder to get cash. To answer your questions, here is how the proof is broken down. Supply shock for XRP. What is it? It's called a supply shock when the availability of an easily movable asset, like some people want XRP more than ever, but the price drops a lot. People can fight over the few tokens that are still available, which can make prices go up quickly and even violently. Analysts say that order books get very thin when big allocations are made by large players or ETFs. This could cause big spikes. Trades still have about 273 billion XRP, which is a big drop from earlier. The amount of tokens stored on large sites like Coinbase has dropped by 90% this year, from 1 billion tokens to almost 100 million tokens. Binance now has about 3.6 billion XRP in reserves, but the exchange's overall liquidity is patchy and unclear. In other words, we don't know if the XRP in these Binance wallets already belongs to businesses or to regular people like you and me. Some of these companies do keep their XRP on these sites. They believe that is the best place for them. You should, of course, take care of your XRP however you see fit. Your financial advisor will help you make the best choice. A lot of people don't feel safe putting them on exchanges. This number is what I want to say. It was really hard. Okay, someone did talk to us. I believe it was the CEO of Uphold. He did say that a lot of the Uphold XRP had already been bought. Some of these deals seem like they would go the same way. A lot of institutional capital is likely to come in if the XRP ETF goes live. This could quickly use up a lot of the funds that are still available. A big change in the price could be caused by the fact that ETFs only hold 4% of the that is in circulation. This is because most of the supply is held back by trust, whales, or storage that isn't online. A lot of experts say that markets might not have enough stock to meet the needs of firms or EFs that are buying more without having to raise prices a lot. That's really cool. When there are no more sales or order books, what happens? Prices would go up as bids piled on top of each other if there were a lot more new buyers and sellers. Whales and other big buyers could choose to sell for a lot more money or keep the item, make even more cash. Even more tightening of supply spreads between bid and ask would make short-term availability better. Could make prices go up and down, especially when ETFs come in or demand goes up quickly. It's getting so common for prices to drop and rise that it might be hard for small buyers to buy XP at the prices that have been made public. There is a chance that some of these sites will charge more to buy XRP. We've seen things like that before in other places. You can find David Short's Kinchy Pricey. I don't wish to go into too much detail. There is a clip about this that someone named David has. It says people in Korea where they charged a few cents more than everyone else because they couldn't get cash. Okay. Things with a high vibe were shared. You can use American Express and Ripple to pay. There's fire. People all over the world know American Express as a well-known bank. Its main business is selling tickets, credit cards, and charge cards. They joined Ripple to get better at business. For a while now, these two have been together. This bank is very big and worth $164 billion. That will make it easier to send money to other countries. Fast blockchain payments were added by MEX. It was announced in September 2023 that Amex and other companies would prefer Ripple and XRP. Great to see. Good news, Amex is one of the most well-known names in business and credit card payments around the world. There is also a word sent to the rest of the world by the fact that they can use Ripple and XP's technology. It's been used for a long time. It's safe and does work. We want you to understand Ripple better by telling you that it is now seen as more than just a coin company. It is also a big infrastructure provider, right? Ripple is said to be one of the biggest technology firms in the world. Check out Medico, Hidden Road, and Rail. The last one is the company they just bought that handles 10% of all deals between businesses around the world involving stablecoins. The important parts that Ripple thinks will be useful in the future are being bought up. There is only so much infrastructure in the world right now. Now let us say that Ripple buys another business that handles another 10 to 15% of stablecoin payments between businesses. Soon, 25% to 30% of the world's infrastructure for businesses that use safe coins could be controlled by Ripple. That seems to be the way this is going. Keep an eye out for more about that. The on-demand funding function of Ripple is what American Express uses to get the money they need. This function uses XRP as a bridge currency. This lets AMX handle foreign settlements almost instantly, even though they don't hold any XRP themselves. This makes more cash available and reduces the need accounts that have money in them already. It does talk about the time range. In 2017, American Express worked with Ripple for the first time. Guys, in just 2 years, they have worked together for 10 years. Business people in the US and UK will be able to send and receive funds in September 2023. Just to give you some information who helps AMCA's business clients, especially small and medium-sized ones, this does talk about important events in history. If you're interested in reading it, please do. I'm not going to read it all to you. If you want, let's stop and look. Let's keep going. Watch, since Ari wrote this, the bug that lets you make as much money as you want is now known to everyone. Midas Real Estate Assets is what MXRP stands for. This business always buys XRP. I want to share with everyone this week the chat I did with the CEO of Us.Thankx. Ripple is also trying to set up a hub to get into the Asia-Pacific market. Sol also talked about this today. The project's goal is to make Korea a major center for creating more Ripple's blockchain networks. I needed to know if there was anything else I was missing. Ripple is making strong connections in Korea, which will make it a center for working with officials, building the XRP ledger, and making connections with institutions. There will be new ways to handle parenting, more local and financial businesses will be involved, and the government will help. Get help from the government. Can you see that? Making Ripple and XRP more competitive in the cryptocurrency market that is growing in the area. I need to ask you something. If you are alive, any other blockchains you know of that are based in Korea or that you know a lot about,